Now that we've got a spring, we have a little bit of a problem that our player can get pretty far off screen. If I take my spring and I drag it up here onto one of these higher platforms and then I go jump onto that, you'll see just how far off screen I end up. So we're going to need to do something to address this. Let's go reproduce it though, make sure that it all makes sense, and then we'll dive into some possible solutions. So here we go. I jump up, and I jump on that spring, and yeah, my character's way off the screen. You can see that I'm just flying way up here outside of this camera view. Remember, this white box is showing us the camera. If you don't see it, you can turn the gizmos on and off right here with the little world looking icon. And we need to make it so that our camera now shows our player all the time, because what's the point of showing a game where we can't see our own player? We need to be able to see our own player. And to show our player, we've got a couple of options. The first option is actually really simple. If we have our player kind of where we want them to be in the world all the time, like we want them maybe centered. Let's move them over to a 0. And right at about that height, we can take the main camera, drag it down to be a child of the player by dragging it and dropping it on top of the player, and then press play, and now the camera will move along with the player. This is somewhat effective. Let's go try it out. So we're in, and any second now, there we go. I can run around, and yep, you can see I can definitely see my character all the time. I can't really see the bottom of the world, and it's not a perfect camera setup, but it's definitely a little bit better than what I was seeing before. There is a better solution though, and we're going to dive into that now. So let's take the main camera, drag it out, and then we're going to go to the window menu and choose Package Manager. The Package Manager window should pop up and it should look something like this. In the top left, you've got a couple options. There's In Project, there's My Assets, and then there's a Unity Registry option. Choose the Unity Registry option from the dropdown, and then scroll all the way down. So you've got all these options up here, features, these big packs full of stuff, and all of these packages. You can see some are already installed. The green check mark means that that package is already installed in this project. And you see we've got a lot of the 2D ones already there because we're building a 2D game and they came with our 2D template. So we need to scroll down until you find Cinemachine. If you don't find it, you can always search for it here. Cinemachine, and currently it's on version 2.9. There is a version 3 that's just about to release, but it's still in a beta, so I'm not going to jump into it yet. But just know that it simplifies things a little bit when you get into the deeper Cinemachine controls and makes it easier to write code with it, but it still has all of the same functionality. So we're going to choose the install button and install the Cinemachine package. This is a camera management system to do super advanced or super basic or whatever type of cameras you want. You can do cameras where you're following multiple players, where it's transitioning and fading between them, where it's doing cinematics, all kinds of interesting, cool stuff. But we're going to start with something very basic that gives us still a lot of just nice feel and a really good look for our game. So we've got our Cinemachine package. It just finished importing, and I'm going to go save my scene and then go to Game Object. I lied. I'm going to go to my player, right click, and I'm going to choose Camera, Cinemachine, and 2D Camera right here. So I'll go to Cinemachine, 2D Camera, and it's just going to create a child object that's a camera of our player. And it's going to have a follow field on it, a look at field, and a bunch of other stuff. I'm going to now take my player and drag that into this follow field. Look at that. My player is now centered right in the middle. And if I press play, this alone is going to give me a decent camera control. I'll be able to see my player and move around. Let's go check it out. All right, there we go. As you can see, I can jump around, and there's a little bit of smoothing there. It's not just instantly super tight with my character. It feels quite a bit better, and it flows, I think, quite a bit better. But I don't like how high up I am, so I'm going to make a little modification. I'm going to expand out the body section, and now I can see where my character is moving around and where it's kind of locking in, and see where the center of the screen is. And we're going to modify this tracked object offsets Y value. I'm going to put a value of about 1.5. And now my character is down kind of closer to the bottom of the screen. I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to stop playing now, re-add my 1.5 because I was in play mode, so my changes didn't save. Go select my player so that I stop seeing the preview. Save, press play, and try one more time. I'm going to see what my character looks like and feels like kind of moving around with the new camera control setup on. There we go. I can run, jump, 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 and bounce, and start to bounce higher and higher and higher, and so on. Look at that. Now I can bounce up super high to the sky and still fall down and see the ground as I'm falling. With that, I'm going to save my scene again and do another commit and say that we added Cinemachine Camera Control or Camera System. Say that. And we'll check in our changes.